Hey, good morning, my friends. MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa here with the MLive Morning Weather Update. I might have a rant or two. I'm kind of ranty this morning, but let's try to focus on the weather, Mark. How does that sound? Let you know what you got going on. We are definitely in the big picture in the temperature roller coaster band right now. The Jetstream sits right over us, and every time it wavers, it can bring warmer air just from our south or colder air just from our north, and that's where we're at. It's very common, of course, in Michigan. That's why March is like the crazy month for weather. So get prepared for that. It's just another step toward heading into spring, which I do believe the way things are setting up, I believe we're going to look for an early spring. There is no official definition. Every one of you has a different idea of what an early spring is. So it's really kind of like, not good for me to say early spring, because half of you will say, you were wrong there. I won't start a rant on that. Let's say hi to some folks before we get started. Keith McNeil, good morning from very cold and snowy East Jordan. Yes. Egan Jose 1 wants the power of that sun, and it is coming. That is a surety. If we don't have the power of the sun, we got a whole lot bigger problem. Carl, good morning. Lennox. All right, let's get to it here and show you what's going on. So, another Alberta clipper is heading southeast across Michigan. The UP, by the way, if you want winter, you go to the UP right now. They have had, in some places, they've had up to 30 inches of snow in the last 3 or 4 days, and they have another 12 to 18 on the way. Some places over the last 3 or 4 days, the next couple of days, late February, are going to have as much snow as southern parts of Michigan would have in an entirely snowy winter. So let's get to it and show you what's going to happen. So that storm system is going to drop southeast. The brunt of it is snow in the UP and north of the UP into southern Canada, and southern Michigan will get into some snow showers. So we go through the day today. This is noon, 1, 2, 3, 4 o'clock. So Traverse City, by late afternoon, you start to get slick again as this cold front approaches on the Alberta Clipper. And I'm watching the 22-year-old Bagel. He just woke up from overnight. So here we go. This is this evening. The snow showers drop down into all of southern lower Michigan, Grand Rapids, Big Rapids, Saginaw, Flint, Bay City, the Thumb. Eventually, as we get toward late evening, they come into Ann Arbor. This is 8, 9, 10 o'clock into Detroit, and sweep on out. So it's a couple of hour spurt of some snow showers for southern lower, transitioning to lake effect snow for northwest lower. Here's the total snowfall by this evening. By 8 o'clock. Traverse City, you got 1, 2, 3 inches. You get slick this evening, it looks like. And then you go to overnight and into tomorrow. The snow continues in northern lower Michigan. There could be some spots that have some little streaks of 6 inches or more. The snow across the Thumb is 1 inch or so. And then you take anywhere from Saginaw to Grand Rapids southward, and you're looking at less than 1 inch, and you get into Ann Arbor, Detroit, Jackson, Lansing, Kalamazoo. You're looking at a dusting or some decorative flurries. That's about it. All right, now let's work our way out into the future. And again, remember, the weather temperature roller coaster comes also with precipitation roller coasters. Yes, could be in New York. What a widespread blizzard in the Northeast. So here we go. Here's our Alberta Clipper. Drops through, and then we get the Arctic air. And nothing real notable on storm systems, really. Here's another. I shouldn't say we get the Arctic air. We get cold air. I misspoke there because I've been talking about how the fact that we don't have air of Arctic origins. We don't. We just have kind of a reset back to some colder temperatures. I'll get to that here in just a second. So Thursday should be okay for traveling. Friday probably not too terrible either. A cold front dives through on the weekend, probably dry. There's a little blip of snow Saturday night, Sunday, maybe an inch. And the next storm system we watch for about the 3rd or so, it does look like a cold surge comes. This would almost be an Arctic air mass on March 4th, March 5th. It keeps showing up as a quick shot, and then we go back to a southerly wind and storm systems. You know, something like this March 7th or 8th is a southwesterly flow from the Gulf of Mexico. It gets us in the 50s and 60s, a thunderstorm, a line, and then we turn colder again. So yes, we are in a weather roller coaster, my friends. This is the classic, wait 5 minutes type deal on Michigan weather. I'll keep you updated on it. One thing, when you get something like this, the storm systems aren't blockbuster. Because remember, when I show you an upper level storm, like I showed you the blizzard out northeast, what does that look like? It's a closed circulation with several circulations. That's that powerhouse that makes the heavy precipitation. But when you're in a fast west-east flow, one storm system comes in and the next system is already kind of trying to straighten out the flow from the current storm system, so they don't really mount up to big deals as far as heavy precipitation. So that's what you're looking at here is the mid-levels of the atmosphere. And I just want to explain to you this. This is a very important map. What you're seeing on the black lines is essentially the wind flow. And essentially the wind flows from west to east, but with these ripples in it, it can come out of the north, it can come out of the southeast, it can come out of all different directions. But let's see. Larry 56, will Lake Michigan rise when the snow melts? Yes, because it always does at this time of the year. It does rise, but will it rise to at a normal amount, or will we have heavy precipitation and rise more than normal? That's yet to be seen. So watch what we're looking for here is any little kink in the jet stream is a cold front. So there's one on Friday night and Saturday. The brunt of the energy is up to the north of Lake Superior, but it drives a little burst of cold air in. And then I want to show you that last stab of the polar vortex continues to show up right up there. That's about March 4th, and it swings down March 5th. And look what happens there. Our wind comes out, or our flow comes out of central Canada. It moves off, it gives up, and then very quickly in a couple of days, by March 7th and 8th, we're into a southwesterly flow, and our wind is coming from Texas. So you want something that throws your body for a loop? There you go. March 4th and 5th, our air comes out of central Canada, and by 7th and 8th, it comes out of the desert southwest and toward us. That's why we're in the temperature roller coaster. So here you see it. So today we're wintry, we're around 32, and tomorrow we're a little colder behind the storm system. And then Thursday, we're wintry too. Traverse City's only in the 20s. Southern Lower Michigan makes it to the upper 30s. Friday, pretty nice warm up, back to 50 degrees in a lot of places. So if you get any ice on the roads or the sidewalk here in the next couple of days, it'll be gone by Friday. But then after the cold front comes through Friday, we go right back down to cold temperatures, maybe only teens, single digits, far northern lower Michigan, a lot of fresh snow on the ground. UP, deep, deep winter, and the southern border feeling cold. Then by Monday, back to the 30s. Tuesday, 30s to near 40. I showed you the Arctic front. Yeah, I'd probably call this a modified Arctic front. So here's next Wednesday in the 40s, and then back down for a couple of days before we go back to maybe near 60 by the time we get into that southwest flow around March 7th, 8th, 9th, somewhere in there. Hang on, here's the weather roller coaster. Here's something I thought I'd show you. I don't show this to you very often. Let's see if I can get it to fit on the screen just to show you. This is all part of the process, I guess I'd have to say, of making it to spring here in Michigan. It's a special time of year. Yikes. So what this is this is the... Here we go. This is the European model in the ensemble modes. Remember, 51 tweaks averaged together. And this is the high and low temperature forecast for Grand Rapids. That middle, the numbers in the middle, you can read those easily. So you can see 34, and then 24 on Wednesday, then 33 on Thursday, then 50 on Friday, then back to the 20s on the weekend. Now, the ensemble does not buy into the Arctic air around March 3rd or 4th. It just buys into a cool down, and then it buys into temperatures jumping to the 50s by about March 7th, 8th or so. So definitely hang on. We got the weather roller coaster. We'll get through it. Definitely. Just keep, my advice is keep a winter coat in your car and a lighter spring jacket in your car, because if you're roaming about our great state, you could need both of them within a half hour. You really could. Some of our great spring get out and walk around destinations like downtown Traverse City, downtown Frankfort, downtown Manistee and Ludington, downtown Muskegon, all of those, downtown Bay City, it's nice and warm downtown Bay City, oh, beautiful, and then the wind switches to the northeast, and your fingers are purple in 15 minutes. That's the time of the year we're heading to. So 6 to 10 day forecast, kind of reflecting that little bit of a modified Arctic front. The 8 to 14 day forecast reflecting that lifting off and us going into the southwesterly flow. And this is old. It's only made for us once a week on Fridays. The 3 to 4 week forecast, 7th to the 20th of March, reflects more southwesterly flow than northwesterly flow. Whew! How was that for a weather update? Do you get that weather update anywhere? Anywhere? No. What did you pay for this weather update? Yeah. But there's hidden costs. Other people make the money. Other places, Facebook can kind of make the money through advertising. Well, we went away from Facebook. YouTube can. I won't start a rant. So there's your weather update. Nothing that's a big red flag yet on something dangerous. A lot of small-scale storm systems. Although if you are going to the UP, once you get to about Gaylord northward, you better plan on it looking like a long winter has occurred and is still occurring. And if you're a snowmobiler, this is the time. This is the time to get to the UP, far northern lower Michigan. You have all the base, you have the fresh snow, you don't have the temperatures below zero. So you've got, for the UP snowmobiling, do it. You got a couple of weeks of just classic, perfect snowmobiling. Let's see if we got any questions here. Where else? Does the TV meteorologist stop halfway in their 2.5-minute spiel and say, oh, hey, we got a question from... well, we don't have any questions, but does the TV meteorologist go, hey, Carter Cordelou? Absolutely not. That's why I'm a paid MLive subscriber. Thank you. So there we have it. Be careful. I'll always be watching for you, and we'll keep you updated if anything bizarre is going to happen that you need to know about. Thanks for joining me on the MLive Morning Weather Update. I did good. I've already rattled off 2 rants, one on Facebook, one to my wife and daughter. I said, oh boy, I hope this isn't going to be one of those days for me. I'm proud of myself. I did good. Take care.